We need to talk about Keir Starmer and everything that's going in the UK right now. And a big shout out to my UK friends. You know that I love you so much. But we want Keir Starmer gone. Everybody wants Keir Starmer gone. But there's a problem with this. He admits he knew Peter Mandelson was friends with Jeffrey Epstein after his conviction. Let's see if that's true, if he admitted that, and if he's going to do anything about that, if Keir Starmer is a man and he's going to assume the responsibility of his actions. Because, well, this was the origin of all this. This picture of this Peter Mandelson on, say, in underwear next to what I can guess is a young woman. It doesn't look like a girl. It looks like a young woman. And just casually, she had us, I don't know how do you call this in English? I know that, I know how to call it in Spanish, albornoz. Just in case, a bathrobe. It's very simple, a bathrobe. I forgot that word. A bathrobe. And then he resigned. And he was a prominent figure of the Labour Party, you know, the same party of this dude, Keir Starmer. And at the same time, this is development, a very recent development. UK police execute search warrants at homes of former Ambassador Peter Mandelson in connection with Jeffrey Epstein investigation. So this is for real. And this is Peter Mandelson saying that he's not in the Epstein's files because he is gay. Okay, he said that? My God.
Possibly some people will think because that I'm a gay man, I was sort of insensitized or I wasn't attuned to what was going on. I don't really accept that. I think the issue is that because I was a gay man in his circle, I was kept separate from what he was doing in the sexual side of his life. I mean, he in a sense had three buckets of people in his life: the business and the financial, the political and the academic, and then what he was doing with young women. It's possible that some people crossed over, but I didn't. And I think probably the reason I was separate from the third of those is because I'm gay.
Yes, I was telling that gay shield did not work. That gay shield did not work. Apologies for the mess up with the sound. But again, it is my understanding. It is my understanding that King Charles simply can't do that because, well, basically the king can't do anything without the prime minister basically being the one who says, okay, we're going to do this. It's like that knighthood to Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, was not exactly the king who assigned that knighthood. It was the prime minister who assigns those knighthoods, and then it's like the king co-signs whatever Keir Starmer suggests. So the problem is that actually Keir Starmer is the one who calls the shots, and the king ends up just co-signing whatever the prime minister, in this case Keir Starmer, says. So the issue is, in all cases, it's like there could be some suggestions from the king to Keir Starmer, as the late Majesty Queen Elizabeth used to suggest things to Prime Minister. But I don't know to what extent King Charles is willing to, do any sort of pushback with this. And of course, we know that Keir Starmer is not going to do anything about this. He's not going to do anything about this. But there was this kerfuffle, I don't know if that word fits in here, and Keir Starmer was really worried about this.
And we knew this. I asked him at that dispatch box, he gave Mandelson his full confidence at that dispatch box, not once, but twice. He only sacked him after pressure from us. I am asking the Prime Minister something very specific, not about the generalities of the full extent. Can the Prime Minister tell us, did the official security vetting he received mention Mandelson's ongoing relationship with the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein?
So clear. Very, very direct question. Let's see how Starmer responds.
Prime Minister.
Yes, it did.
we knew the guy was related to Epstein. That was quick.
Prime Minister.
Yes, it did. As a result, various questions were put to him.
Okay, just a warning. I want to make it clear that I didn't realize I was wearing the exact same combination of colors, or almost the exact same combination of colors, like Keir Starmer. I have nothing to do with this man. Okay, I have nothing to do with this. Oh my God, I have to check this before I pick my colors in each show.
I intend to disclose to this House all of the national security, prejudice to international relations on one side. I want to make sure this House sees the full documentation, so it will see for itself the extent to which time and time again Mandelson completely misrepresented the extent of his relationship with Epstein and lied throughout the process, including in response to the due diligence.
Oh yes, he lied. The Keir Starmer was fooled by a liar. You know that, yeah, you can do your research or maybe have an interview with a guy and talk about this.
Mr. Speaker, I think it is shocking what the Prime Minister has just said. How can he stand up there saying that he knew, but he just asked Peter Mandelson if the security vetting was true or false? This is a man who had been sacked from cabinet twice already for unethical behaviour. That is absolutely shocking. And that is why later today, my party will call on the government to release all documents relating to Mandelson's appointment, not just the ones the Prime Minister wants us to see. Because this government is trying to sabotage that release with an amendment to let him choose what we see, the man who appointed Mandelson in the first place. Labour MPs now have to decide if they want to be accessories to his cover-up. Can the Prime Minister guarantee that he won't remove the whip if they refuse to vote for his whitewash amendment?
Prime Minister.
And this is when Keir Starmer comes and begins to tremble and his hands shake. So make sure that you spot his body language, because this is going to be the interesting part.
Speaker, the first exemption is in relation to anything that could compromise national security. That is not a small matter, and many members on the benches opposite will know precisely why that needs to be in the exemption. When we were drafting humble addresses, when we were sitting over there, we always made sure that exemption was in, because we knew how important it was to the then government. I don't think I've seen a humble address without that in, because and just to be clear, to vote to release something that would prejudice national security is wrong in principle. The second exemption is in relation to things that would prejudice international relations. There will be discussions about security and intelligence and trade, which are highly sensitive to the two countries involved and to third countries. Well, they have to ask themselves whether they want to vote to prejudice our national security. I don't think they do. I don't think, in fairness, that they do. But can I reassure the House, Mr. Speaker? Let me reassure the House. The process for deciding what falls into those categories will not be a political process. It will be led by the Cabinet Secretary, supported by government legal teams. So they will be looking at the question of prejudice. They will be making that decision. The only additional thing I just want to put before the House, because there was a discussion this morning with the Metropolitan Police, is that we are in discussions with them about any material that they're concerned will prejudice their investigation. We're at an early stage of that discussion, but I didn't want to have the House not know that discussion is going on.
So this is a matter of national security. We cannot just release things just because you're asking, because this is way too important. He could have said that was important the moment that he was vetting Mandelson, and they saw that there was a suggestion, there was at least a suggestion that he had anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein, because if you have that 10% of a 100%, or you have the idea that Mandelson had a 10% of a real 100% of relationship with Jeffrey Epstein precisely because of matters of national security. You have to say, hey, wait a second. Even if we are seeing a misrepresentation, as Keir Starmer wants to gaslight us with, you say, hey, no, this doesn't pass the smell test. Even with that tiny representation that he was fooled by Mandelson. That doesn't pass the smell test. Breaking, Keir Starmer apologizes amid a desperate fight for political survival. He knows the end is near. Should he save the apologies and immediately resign? Let's see, watch this one.
Let me be clear. No one is above accountability. And no one, however well connected, however experienced, however senior, should hold public office if they cannot meet the basic test of honesty. I also want to address the publication of the information Mandelson provided during the appointment process. I understand the strength of public feeling. I share the anger that people feel when powerful individuals appear to escape scrutiny. And I want to be able to release those documents as quickly as possible. I wanted to release them yesterday, in fact, and to talk about them at Prime Minister's questions. But the police have advised that releasing certain information now could risk prejudicing a future investigation or legal process. And however frustrating from my personal point of view that is, and it is, I will not take any step, however politically tempting, however popular, that risks justice for victims. Because this is not and must never become a political game. The victims of Epstein have lived with trauma that most of us can barely comprehend.
Precisely. The victims of Epstein have lived with a trauma that most of us can barely comprehend. Couldn't you have thought about that when Mandelson say, hey, you know what? I have exchanged a few, let's say, moments with Epstein. Even if I'm gay, I have exchanged some moments with Epstein, but I'm in the bucket of the not sexual stuff. Even if you might at some point find pictures of myself with young women in bathrobes and we in pants, as they say in the UK, nothing else. And remember, most important, I am gay. Have I said before that I am gay? I have the gay badge, I have the gay protection, I have the gay shield. Maybe that can, I don't know, speak in my favor, no matter what kind of relationship I had with Jeffrey Epstein.
And they've had to relive it again and again. They have seen accountability delayed and too often denied. To them, I want to say this.
The sound, okay, coming back.
I am sorry.
No.
Sorry for what was done to you.
Lies.
Sorry that so many people with power failed you. Sorry for having believed Mandelson's lies and appointed him.
Sorry for having believed Mandelson lies. So you appointed him just because he gave you his word. Oh, I swear, I am gay. I have nothing to do with young women in bathrobes. None of the sort now.
And sorry that even now, you're forced to watch this story unfold in public once again. But I also want to say this. In this country, we will not look away.
Oh, you look away from the rape gangs. You look away from the dingus. You have certain experience looking away from actual troubles that are destroying the fabric of your culture and your civilization. But
we will not shrug our shoulders.
You do all the time.
And we will not allow the powerful to treat justice as optional.
You are the powerful that treat justice as optional. There's no powerful over you, Keir. You're the Prime Minister, for fuck's sake.
We will pursue the truth. We will uphold the integrity of public life. And we will do everything within our power and in the interests of justice to ensure accountability is delivered. That is what the public expects. That is what the victims deserve. And it is what I will do.
Okay, yeah, whatever you say, this is worse than I thought. This is really worse than I thought. I should have talked about this a few days back, but again, this shouldn't end well. But the problem is that these weasels have this uncanny ability to just maybe they will fabricate some kind of a scandal, some external scandal, something else. Okay, in the following days, I don't know. Right now they are going after X. They don't like the fact that in X people are spewing this racist and bigotry lies and stuff, and they want to ban X in the UK as well. I don't know if they want to go through with that, but they don't like the fact that they're being exposed, and I don't know how long that mask is going to stay in place. But I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Power Pundit. Much love and bliss.